And so, why does the NGX even matter for Nigeria? It's not just about trading stocks, it's a key driver of the economy, providing access for companies that need capital and for also investors who want to participate in the economic growth of these companies. They can participate by buying those shares.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. By giving companies access to capital, the NGS enables them to expand, innovate, and create jobs. At the same time, it provides a platform for investors to grow their wealth, especially retail investors. Hello, welcome to the Nigerian Investors podcast, the unofficial podcast that tracks and reports on the activities of the Nigerian boss. My name is Mudi, and with my colleague Aye, we will be hosting this podcast. TNI podcast is dedicated to stimulating a renewed enthusiasm among the general population with regard to the activities of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Ultimately, the goal of TNI is to see that many Nigerians from all walks of life, both at home and in the diasporas, become active participants on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Before we go further, we would like to place on record TNI podcast is solely for educational purposes and not a replacement for professional financial advice. Let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nigerian Investors podcast. I'm your host, Mudi, and today we are unpacking a vital part of Nigerians' financial ecosystem, the Nigerian Exchange Group, otherwise known as the NGS.
And I'm your co host, Aye. It's great to be here, Moji. This episode is going to be a deep dive into everything NGX, right? So, we're going to be covering its history, evolution, the structure, products, and why it's become a critical piece of Nigeria's economic puzzle.
Absolutely, Aye. We also explore the opportunities it provides for businesses, the word bidding potential for investors, and how the NGS connects to everyday life.
So, if you're ever wondering how the stock market works and why it matters to you, this episode is for you. So, you can just go ahead and grab a notebook because we're about to dive in.
Did you know, Aye, that the Nigerian Exchange Group started as the Lagos Stock Exchange in 1960?
Yeah, I did. But what fascinates me is the vision behind it, right? At the time, the goal was just to provide Nigerian businesses with a platform to raise capital while giving investors a place to trade securities.
Exactly, but it didn't stop there. In 1977, it was renamed the Nigerian Stock Exchange to reflect its ambition of becoming a national financial hub. Fast forward to today, and the NGS has grown into one of Africa's leading stock markets, alongside the Johannesburg Stock Exchange and the Egyptian Exchange.
And that's quite a journey, right? It's incredible when you think about how the NGX's growth is mirroring that of the Nigerian economic revolution, right? From an emerging market to a major player in Nigeria's financial landscape, it's been a really good journey.
Yeah, it is. It has been a really good journey. A quick look at the evolution and the modernization of the NGS. Let's talk about how the NGS evolved over the years. Aye. Do you remember when trading on the NGS was done manually?
So yes, back then trades were very, very slow and they were mostly paper based and prone to a lot of errors, right? But everything changed in the 1990s with the introduction of the automated trading system known as the ETS.
That was a game changer. For the first time, trades could be executed electronically, which increased transparency and boosted investors'
Yeah,
confidence.
that's true. And let's not even forget the introduction of the All Share Index, the ASI, in 1999. It's like a heartbeat for the market, right? A comprehensive measure of how all the listed stocks are performing in the market at any given point in time.
Exactly. Then there was this Central Securities Clearance System, CSCS, which we're going to cover in our subsequent episode, which was introduced in the 2000s. Actually, this company was founded in 1992, if I'm not mistaken, and they started operations in 1997. But in 2000, in the 2000, early 2000, they started operating in the NGS. It made trade settlement faster and more efficient.
Now, Moody, let's get into the NGX's recent transformation. So, specifically, we're talking about the demutualization. Can you break it down? And for our listeners, can you just speak more about it.
Of course, of course. Demutualization was a significant step. It transformed the NGS from a not for profit organization into a for profit shareholder owned company. This restructuring created three distinct entities. One, Nigerian Exchange Limited, NGS Limited, focused on listing and trading services. Then, two, we have the NGS Regulation Limited. This is the NGS Reshco, ensures compliance with market rules and regulations. And finally, we have the NGS Real Estate Limited, otherwise known as the NGS RECO, which manages the group's real estate assets.
That's very interesting, right? That's very, very interesting. It was a very good move, right? This move has brought the NGX in line with global standards and has made it even more efficient, right? It's all about creating value for businesses and investors alike.
Yeah. Speaking of value, let's talk about how businesses can list on the NGS. What are the three options for companies?
So currently, there are three main segments on the NGX that companies can list on. We have the premium board for companies with exceptional governance and financial performance, right? And as the name implies, premium, right? So we also have the main board for large established companies. That's where most companies will probably end up, right? The majority of companies will probably end up in that segment. Then we also have the
Okay.
growth board, which is created specifically to cater to ambitious SMEs and young businesses that are looking for capital to scale.
That's nice. That's nice. That's interesting. And as for investors, the NGS offers indices to track market performances. We have the All Share Index, which I has already mentioned earlier on, is the most comprehensive of all. Then we have the NGS 30, which highlights the top 30 companies by market capitalization and liquidity, and the NGS 50, featuring the top 50 companies.
Yeah, and one interesting thing about these indices is that they are like roadmaps, right? They help investors to identify trends and opportunities in the market, right? So you know exactly what you're looking for. Then you just go
Oh,
to a segment, right? And then you can just from there pick the companies that you want.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Another thing again, our listeners will also benefit from the NGS isn't just about equity, though IA can walk you through all the product that they have.
Sure. So the NGS offers various investment securities, like for example, we have the equities, which is basically it gives you opportunity to own a share of a company. We have the fixed income side of things. That's for things like treasury bills and bonds. We also have exchange traded funds, that's ETFs, which basically track specific indices of sectors. And very, very soon we'll have the derivatives market with futures and options for more flexibility and risk management.
So that's interesting. That's very interesting. And that's, I think, is a very robust lineup. Whether you are a conservative investor or someone that is looking to take calculated risk, there is something for everyone, right? IA?
Correct, correct. And so why does the NGX even matter for Nigeria, right? It's not just about trading stocks, it's a key driver of the economy, providing access for companies that need capital and for also investors who want to participate in the economic growth of these companies. They can participate by buying those shares.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. By giving companies access to capital, the NGS enables them to expand, innovate, and create jobs. At the same time, it provides a platform for investors to grow their wealth, especially retail investors. And Nigeria is a country with a large population, and the NGS is there to alleviate the poverty. Why? If you know what you're looking for, and you know how to get what you're looking for.
Correct, correct. And on a larger scale, right, the NGX mobilizes savings and channels them into productive investments. And by doing this, it's fueling industries and infrastructure development in Nigeria and as well making investors wealthier and richer.
Yeah, that's true. But of course, the NGS isn't without its challenges. Market volatility, economic instability, regulatory hurdles can all have an impact, right?
True, true, true. But the NDX is tackling these issues head on, right? It's the ongoing demutualization process, for instance, is expected to boost investor confidence and attract more company listings and hopefully hope to see more companies listing even this year, 2025.
Yeah, let's not forget the role of fintech. Digital platforms are making it easier for everyday Nigerians to participate in the stock market, which opens up a world of opportunities. Because, our last two guests that we interviewed, they also talked about the impact of fintech because they've been in this market for a very long time. The NGS is more than just a stock market. If you know what we are talking about, it is a cornerstone of Nigeria's financial landscape and a beacon of economic potential.
And the best part, it's not just for the wealthy or the experts. With the right knowledge and tools, anyone can participate in the market, including you. So you don't have to say, oh, you're a novice, so you're not going to participate in the market. You can participate in the market.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Nigerian Investors podcast. We hope you found this discussion insightful and inspiring.
It's been nice hearing from all of you and from us here at the studio. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave us a review and follow us on social media to stay updated. Thank you.
All right. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay invested. Thank you for listening to another episode of the favorite podcast that brings insight to the Nigerian stock market. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. To get more episodes like this, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, as well as on our website. All this information is available in the show note below this episode. Until we bring you another episode your way next week. Bye for now. TNI podcast is executive produced by Mudi. This episode was edited by Rona at Rock Quarry Village Studio.